Tonight we're thinking about Tolstoy, the belletrist, the novelist. But let's not forget that for him that pursuit had already, at the time he wrote the Kreutzer Sonata, become truly secondary or tertiary, because he was passionate about education reform, he was passionate about schools, he was passionate about, obviously, social reform, emancipating the serfs in Russia, which had finally happened, and in fact he emancipated his own serfs. And we see that's also another reason he's plowing, because somebody has to still till the fields. But for him, writing fiction had become largely devoid of meaning, and the real pursuit of his life was elsewhere. None of this, of course, was possible without his great companion, Sofia Andreevna, Sofia Tolstoy, or Tolstaya, as we say in Russian. So there she is as a beautiful young girl just before their marriage. And then we will see her much later, of course, drinking tea with her husband. A wonderful image there that says so much already about the life they've shared together. So hard to describe Sonia's role. Of course, a dutiful and loving, usually loving wife, the mother of all of their numerous 13 children. She also was a necessary, vital link in his work, because she, many of you know this, was his copyist, and indeed muse, and indeed editor, but just copying out, before all the technology we have, of course, today, by hand. War and Peace alone, the longest novel, I think, of all time, generally agreed, that novel underwent 7 drafts. And every one of those drafts she copied out by hand at least once. So when we think of sometimes how much music Bach or Schubert wrote, and we think just to copy it out would take longer than Schubert had in his life. And so that's something that is striking when we think of Sonia. So she had this extraordinary role in his life. They had a complicated, tumultuous marriage, as we know, also because of her diaries. She was a very gifted and important diarist, if only because she lived at the side of Leo Tolstoy. And so we know a lot about how he functioned through her. And so their marriage, of course, is a big part of the genesis of Kreutzer Sonata.